Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show, Red Pill Edition. My name is Leon Jones. And in this segment, I'm going to talk about single mothers being a dating liability. So the title of this evening's video is Single Mothers are a dating liability. Single mothers are a dating liability. Now, when I talk about someone who's a single mother, I'm a little bit more extreme than most because I have categories, but each category I name falls into the realm of a single mother. In other words, I look at dating a woman with any other human being that she is taking care of, or allowing the human being to live with her, is a distraction to dating. Why? Because there is a low return on investment with dating a woman whose life is centered about other human beings in her life. Now, let me get to the categories so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. First, there's the single mother, the traditional single mother, one who has never been married. She had a baby by a boyfriend. Two, the divorcee. Usually when a woman is divorced, she initiated it. Now, you have to look at how long that marriage lasted. Some marriages last a long time, some don't. Number three, you have the mother who is still allowing grown children to live at home with her. Bad. And I'm telling you, you think dating someone who has small children is bad? You hadn't seen anything until you date a mother who has grown children living in the home. In fact, she allows the grown children to run amok. And I know somebody who is just like that. Wanted peace in the house, but didn't want to put her foot down. And her oldest child ran all over her. Then you have the woman who is trying to take care of elderly parents. That's also a problem. Now, you see in all four scenarios that I just named, if you're a man and you're dating any woman in that category, guess what? You're never going to be a priority. You will always be an option. In fact, some of these single mothers have outrageous standards. They want you to come with everything while they come with nothing. And when it comes to dating them, they want you to spend your money on them while they produce nothing for you. So what you are really getting out of the deal is used pussy. It's like going to Jack's car dealership, and you know those cars are broken down, and paying a lot of money for a lot of problems. This is what you get when you date single mothers. Now, there have been other brothers like Minister Jap, Sean James, shout out to those guys, who have done excellent videos on single mothers. Another one, Red Supreme. Now, not that brothers are denigrating single mothers. We just know what the liability is when you date a single mother. At the end of the day, if you're going to invest into somebody like that, your return on investment, again, is going to be very low. You're going to be wasting a lot of time. You're going to be frustrated because when it comes to kids, women are always going to put their children first. When it comes to you, she's going to expect a lot out of you, because a number of these single mothers are immature, first of all. Because, see, if you disagree with how they're handling business, like raising their children, they're going to shame you for it. And another thing some of these single mothers are going to ask you to do, especially when they are on dating sites, is they use the word package deal. Brothers, and I'm talking to everybody across racial divides here. If a woman says package deal, you be like Snagglepuss, exit stage right. Because when she says it's a package deal, she wants you to do everything that the fathers should be doing. Now, the only exception to the rule would be someone who is widowed. And that's also a burden too, because some of these widowers want you to be just like their husband was before they passed. So you see the scenarios, it's a lose-lose situation. And if you get yourself involved with dating single mothers, you're putting yourself at a risk. You have to understand that you're going with somebody who probably has a dysfunctional family. The kids don't want you to be around them. The kids aren't going to respect you no matter what you do for them. The kids always want the parents to be together. You have a number of kids in this situation, particularly the ones who are grown. And see, another aspect to the situation is when some of these kids get grown, and the grown kids have kids of their own, the mother allows not just the grown kids to live at home, but the grandkids to live in the same house. And with some of these single mothers allowing grown kids to live at home, they don't give the grown kids any responsibilities. So the grown kids can run amok. They don't have any responsibilities. They can talk back to the mom, and the mom won't do anything. And a lot of these moms are cowards. They're afraid of their children. And when you see that these children, whether small or whether older, are disrespecting the mom, be assured they're going to disrespect you as well. And when they are smaller, you're always going to deal with the dad. And there have been some situations out there where the dad and the boyfriend had a confrontation, and the baby's daddy ended up shooting the boyfriend, killing the boyfriend. And also, when it comes to the dad, the single mother is just another piece of pussy for that dad. Although they don't live together, they had that child together. And you're coming into the picture, you don't know what went on between those two. But I guarantee you, when you're not around, she's in the sheets with that other guy, known as the baby dad or the ex-husband. Now, when I lived in Pennsylvania, even when individuals were divorced, they were still living with each other. And when I did my segment on Christian women being hypocrites, well, the Christian women that I knew were white, they were still living with their ex-husbands. And living with their ex-husbands, and they're supposed to be ex-husbands, well, these Christian women would not have any new man come over to the house. But if you are divorced, everything should be okay. Well, it wasn't okay, because maybe they weren't divorced. Maybe they were divorced. But at the end of the day, if you are in that situation to where that mom or that woman has her life centered around the grandkids, the grown kids, the small kids, the family, There's no sense in dating that woman. Now, you can use her as a human toilet, and when you fuck her to death, she can suck your dick, because that's what she's worth. That is all you're going to get from her. And the sex may be good, it may not. It may be a pit stop for you. Now, I'm not trying to degrade all single mothers, but some of you out there have some outrageous standards that you expect from a man, and look at your situation. And what some of them don't understand is, we don't care how much money you make. We don't care about your degrees. We don't care that you did everything by yourself, because that's your job. At the end of the day, we still look at you as a bad investment, because we can't build with you, because you laid down with somebody else, although it didn't work out. You tried to build with them, and then when it comes to dealing with your offspring doesn't want you to have anybody else in your life but that dad. But some of these dads went to jail. Some of these dads died. Some of these grown children out here, they went out and got married, or they had children out of wedlock. But the permissive mother allowed the children to come back home. And the reason why I'm putting this information out about single mothers being a liability is because, for the most part, a number of women, period, don't want to spend their money on a man. So a single mother is in that category. She doesn't want to spend her money on you because she believes her money should go to her. Heck, a number of them don't even want to spend money on their own children, because a lot of these single mothers are childish. They're about themselves. They live in a delusional world. And when you find single mothers who are Christian, they believe that God is going to find them a husband. No, God is going to find a man for you to get digged down with, because that's all you're worth. Because at the end of the day, you're not worth marrying. You decided to make your decision when you were younger or when you were older. It didn't work out. So at the end of the day, you got to deal with those consequences. Now, the best type of individual for any single mother or divorced mother or widow to date is somebody that's in their same situation. But you have a number of these single mothers out here who don't want to date men with children. Now, do you know why they don't want to date men with children? They always tell you, well, I got to deal with the baby mama. No, that's not the truth either. That's all a smokescreen. The reason why they tell you that is they don't want to go through the notion that they're going to be number two. Because usually the single mom always puts her children above any man. But yet when it comes to women, these single mothers, divorced mothers, mothers who have grown children living at home with them and they're still taking care of them, no, they want you to put them first. So when the situation doesn't favor these single mothers out here, they don't want to deal with that situation, because they know how it is to be put in second place. I mean, if you're a man and you're dating a single mother and you don't understand what's going on, you continue to date that single mother, you will find out a lot about her, because they will drop cues. And a number of them are very irresponsible. And you have to understand what these single mothers are looking for. Many of them are looking for somebody to help them out. They're not looking for love. In fact, in the bigger cities, if you go to some of these clubs out here, guess what you see? You see nothing but a bunch of single mothers. And these single mothers can be very, very freaky. Why? Because, see, when they're in captivity, and they're around, when I mean captivity, these are the ones who are around their kids all the time. And when they get a taste of freedom, they want to let it out. And a number of these single mothers become hoes, if they're not already hoes. And you have to ask yourself, when they're running out too, where are they putting their children? Well, a lot of these single mothers as well, I'll give you that answer. Somebody else is taking care of their children for them, particularly the grandmother. And some of these grandmothers are married. So the selfishness of that single mother, she's deferring her responsibility to her parents, who are trying to establish a life for themselves. And at the end of the day, the grandparents can't even establish their own life because the daughter was irresponsible with her child. She's just passing that child off to them. Now, your parents out there, what you got to do is be hard on your kids. They want to go out partying, you don't keep the kids for them. You make them find a babysitter. That's another video. But at the end of the day, there's no value to dating a single mother. There isn't, unless you want sexual gratification. For the most part, that's what you're going to get. Whether it's good or bad, if you're a guy looking for a nut, that's the easiest place to go. But when it comes to marriage and building something, don't go that way. Because again, you are always going to be an option. And my rule of thumb from my 66 rules of dating is, do not let somebody make you an option if they can't make you a priority. Or don't be an option if you can't be a priority. You should always be a priority. But you have a number of men, particularly black men, and I don't know why black men do this. Brothers, you got to have more standards when you're dating. Now, I've dated single mothers in the past, but at the end of the day, I knew where the relationships were going. In my age now, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even consider it. I wouldn't even consider going to bed with them, although it would be very easy to get your pipes blown out, but I don't want that. I just believe that when you get yourself in a situation with somebody that doesn't have your children, it's always going to be disastrous, even if the father is dead. For the most part, a lot of these children today grow up in dysfunctional households because you have to understand, some of these single mothers out here rotate guys in and out the house, and the children see that. A number of these single mothers out here live on welfare. They're also working, but at the end of the day, their whole life is not about being with you. Their whole life is about surviving. And they're going to use any means possible, whether it's government, whether it's dating multiple men, whether it's having multiple kids. At the end of the day, these single mothers out here, for the most part, are about themselves. And when you get with them, you're always going to be frustrated because you're never going to be number one. And I believe a man should be number one in his relationship. And when I mean number one, he should be the leader. He should not have to take on somebody else's seed. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. Again, I said in this video earlier that all single mothers aren't bad. The situation is bad. At the end of the day, when it comes to black men seem to miss the boat on that. They're looking at how good this woman looks, but they're not looking at her situation. Even when you get older, you may think you're getting a break. Nope. More and more children are living home with these parents today, particularly the mom. And the mom is allowing the children to live at home. The mom is allowing the children with the grandchildren to live in the same house. And at the end of the day, that's almost a no-go, because you're going to run into conflict with the grown children as well, because the grown children aren't going to like you no matter what you do. And some of these mothers are kissing the grown children's asses, and these grown children, they're going to want you to do the same thing. And at the end of the day, they're still not going to like you, because these grown children are very selfish themselves. They only want the mother with the father, even if the father is in jail, even if the father is with somebody else. But at the end of the day, dating a single mother is a liability. And when I mean dating, let me clarify it. I'm talking about having a serious relationship with a single mother and thinking about going down the aisle. Now, if you want to fuck her, by all means, just be careful. But you know that is what she is worth. She's worth a good blowjob and good fucking. Dick her down, get out of there. Again, don't make her a priority. She's an option, because she's always going to make you an option, because she feels she has multiple men, which she does, because multiple men that are around her are simps. And for the most part, the only one who's actually going to marry a single mom is a simp. Simp is easy, because a number of simps out here don't have confidence in themselves. They think they're doing the Lord's work. By all means, if you're a simp out there, you need to listen to this message. Single mother is going to treat you the same way she's going to treat me. Because when it comes to investing, I usually go by MEET. Now, if you don't know what the word or the acronym MEET stands for, I made it up. It's money, emotion, energy, and time. You don't want to put all of your investment into somebody that's going to give you nothing. Because for the most part, most women don't have anything to bring to the table but sex. But when you deal with these single mothers out here, some of them try to hold on to that vagina. But just remember, before you got there, somebody else hit it. And it was somebody other than the ex-husband. In most cases, I said most cases, it was somebody other than the baby's dad. But at the end of the day, I guarantee you, the guys before you, they didn't pay for it. Then again, some of them may have paid for it. But if their agenda was to get sex, then they may have tricked the single mothers for sex. I understand. But if you're going to trick with somebody, don't trick with somebody that's been around the block. Because here's another crucial thing that you got to understand with single mothers. They already have children. And if you have an oops in there, you may have a child with that woman as well, that single mother. And the way the system works in some states, let's say if the father isn't paying child support for the children he had, and you go and you make a child with that single mother, although you don't technically have to pay for other two kids, the court is going to make that child support payment so high that it's going to be enough for her to take care of not only the kid you made, but her children. And see, what that does is it absolves the previous fathers from doing nothing. But at the end of the day, when it comes to dating any woman who is taking care of grandkids, grown kids, and children, they're all classified to me as single mothers, I wouldn't advise you getting into any relationships with them, because you're going to be miserable. Now, again, this video is not a shot at all women But you got to understand the truth. And see, when I do videos, I don't just talk about black women. I talk about women across the board, because you see a number of white women who are single mothers as well. And let me tell some of you brothers something too. Some of you don't want to mess with the black single mothers, but you go over there and mess with the white single mothers. What is your problem? It's the same thing. They just are a different race. They're going to put their kids first, just like the black single mothers are going to put their kids first. Or they're going to put them first in front of you. But at the end of the day, the trifling ones, they're always going to put themselves above their children. They'll tell you they'll put their children first, but they don't. They're looking at anything to promote their lifestyle, whether it is the government or you, because a number of these single mothers don't think rationally. They think utilizing emotion. They also think because they have a nice looking body after they had children that they can get any man, and any man is supposed to cater to them. But at the end of the day, you single mothers out there, they're not cooking for you. Many of them are disrespectful. Many of them are not loyal. Because, again, they only see you as someone that's going to help them. And when it comes to bringing anything to the table, these single mothers will not bring anything to the table but a bunch of strife. And when you date them, it's going to be constant strife. You're going to go crazy. This is why I say, I don't care how big her titties are, how fat that ass is, how beautiful her hair looks. You have to look at the situation. And when you deal with single mothers out here, and when I talk about single mothers, again, I'm talking about women who were divorced, women who never married, women who are taking care of grown children and grandchildren, women who are also taking care of elderly parents. When her life is centered about other human beings, you can forget about being number one in her life. Now, I'm repeating myself because repetition is the mother of all skill, because some of you out there are dating single mothers and you're not going to listen to this message anyway until it's too late. But at the end of the day, when it comes to dating single mothers, you have to look at the situation by using cost-benefit analysis. You have to project, where do you want to be with this person in 2 to 5 years? Because a number of these single mothers with their kids, they're going to stress you out. And stress is a cause of cardiovascular disease for a number of men. I mean, you're already going to work, you have your life together. It's tough to deal with women who don't have children. But when they have children, at the end of the day, they can be Christian, because they'll tell you, oh, I had my children, but I'm God's child. You certainly are God's child. You're going to stay God's child, because God isn't going to send you a husband. You had one. You just made a poor decision. Now, when the children are grown and gone, and I'm talking about grown and gone, and they never come back, and they have their own children, and they're not calling mom every day, then you can date that woman. But for the most part, in today's culture, the grown children are still living at home. The mom is still taking care of not only the grown children, but the grown children's children. The mom is still taking care of her elderly parents. The mom is still taking care of young children. And some of these moms are also adopting the grandchildren. So what I'm saying is, when you date these single mothers out here, I've given you an example on why they are a liability. And at the end of the day, when you date a number of these single moms, they are a liability. and you will get no return on investment. What you're going to get is some temporarily good sex, and she's going to try to hold sex hostage over you so she can get resources out of you, because that's all she has to offer you. And the sex, again, is going to be, I call it shut up sex. She's going to give you just enough to make you stay around. But when that light bulb comes on, you wisen up, you will leave the situation. Because at the end of the day, single mothers, when you date them, are a liability. You get no return on investment. But you do get a heck of a lot of problems. And as a man, if a woman's not going to put you number one, you put yourself number one. Why? Because you are the prize. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 401 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. Also, you can check my Blog Talk radio shows out. I do a Blog Talk radio show every Saturday or every Sunday. Have a call-in number. It's 215-383-5785. I don't take too many calls because the last time I took calls, the show wasn't of any good quality. So I don't take calls now because I want my audience to have a good quality show and understand the topic. Also, if you want some interest in engineering and math, check out the Mind of STEM channel. And on that channel, I'm giving you a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. And if you can't find my videos on YouTube, you can always find me on Facebook and Twitter. Post everything up there. Because at the end of the day, you have to remember this. Always be blessed for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Know that the sun always rises in the east and sets in the west. And brothers, don't be thirsty for single moms, because there are other women out there that you can enjoy. But enjoy yourself first and obey the thirst. Again, thank you for listening. My name is Leon Jones. You have a wonderful and blessed night. Until next time, just want to say God bless you